Philippines registers more than 1,600 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday, December 30. This is the highest daily tally since November 21. The positivity rate or percentage of those who tested positive is at 6.6%, the highest since October 31 at 6.75%. This comes as other countries experience a surge in COVID-19 infections. Countries such as the United States, France, and Britain have registered a record number of new cases as the Omicron variant of the virus continues to spread. In the Philippines, a fourth case of the Omicron variant was reported on Monday, December 27. The World Health Organization says the simultaneous circulation of the Delta and Omicron variants of the coronavirus is creating a tsunami of cases. President Rodrigo Duterte approves the government's budget for 2022 in a ceremony with lawmakers on Thursday, December 30. Duterte signed the 2022 General Appropriations Bill, which gives the government a total budget of 5.024 trillion pesos, 11% higher than the budget last year. Like in all national budgets, the education cluster, which includes the Department of Education, gets the biggest budget at 788.5 billion pesos. With face-to-face classes expected to expand next year, a special provision was put in the budget to allow schools and universities to use their funds under maintenance and other operating expenses to retrofit classrooms for better ventilation, buy COVID-19 test kits for faculty and staff, and other ways to improve COVID-19 safety. The Department of Health, meanwhile, was given 188.3 billion pesos. While this is slightly higher than the 182.67 billion pesos the House of Representatives is willing to allot, it is much lower than the 230 billion pesos that the Senate wanted the Health Department to get. A total of 50 billion pesos was allocated to buy more booster shots, while 22.99 billion pesos is going to the construction and upgrading of healthcare facilities and procurement of hospital equipment. But the military and police both get bigger budgets than the Health Department. The Armed Forces of the Philippines was given 213.78 billion pesos, while the Philippine National Police was given 190.69 billion pesos. Despite threats of some lawmakers to defund the National Task Force to end local communist armed conflict, the controversial group still gets 17 billion pesos.
Need more context, clarity, and perspective? Get the full picture with Rappler Plus. With exclusive content and events, you'll get an opportunity to discuss issues with reporters, experts, and featured guests while helping Rappler continue its fearless journalism. Join now.
Filipino diplomats pay tribute to national hero Dr. Jose Rizal in Fujian, China, home of the hero's ancestors. They lay a wreath at the Rizal Monument in the village of Shangguo in Jinjiang City on Wednesday, December 29. The Philippine Consulate General in Xiamen says Jose Rizal Square in Jinjiang is the largest Rizal shrine outside the Philippines. Meantime, President Rodrigo Duterte leads the rites commemorating the 125th death anniversary at the Rizal Monument in Manila. He says, "Let us also honor our modern-day heroes who are at the front lines." He adds, "Let us emulate his wisdom and courage in our own simple ways." It was the first time he attended the Manila ceremony in 3 years. Vice President Robredo meanwhile quotes Rizal's novel saying, "May we all be reminded of Elias's final words in Noli Me Tangere, to always welcome the dawn without ever forgetting those who suffered in the dark of night." British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell is found guilty by a U.S. jury of helping the late financier Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse teenage girls. The 60-year-old Maxwell is accused of recruiting and grooming 4 teenagers between 1994 and 2004 for Epstein, who killed himself in 2019 in a Manhattan jail cell while awaiting trial on sex abuse charges of his own. During the trial, a prosecutor called Maxwell Epstein's partner in crime. Her attorneys argued she was being used as a scapegoat for Epstein. Maxwell is the daughter of British businessman Robert Maxwell, who founded a publishing house and owned tabloids including the Daily Mirror. During the trial, jurors heard emotional and graphic testimony from 4 women. 3 of the women said Maxwell herself inappropriately touched them. Epstein's arrest and suicide drew attention to his relationships with prominent figures, Britain's Prince Andrew. The prince is currently facing a civil lawsuit in Manhattan claiming he sexually abused Virginia Giuffre, another of Epstein's accusers. Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association President Philip Juico says he will contest the Philippine Olympic Committee's decision to declare him persona non grata in the wake of the controversy involving track star EJ Obiena. In an interview in ANC's After the Fact on Wednesday, December 29, Rico explains how the POC decision to no longer recognize him as president is not within its jurisdiction. Following its investigation, the POC Ethics Committee concludes Rico harassed Obiena by making malicious public accusations. Since late November, the Rico-led PATAFA has been in a public spat with Obiena and his coach Vitaly Petrov. PATAFA claimed Obiena falsified liquidation reports and failed to pay his coach's fees, but Petrov himself came out in defense of Obiena. The Philippine Senate already intervened weeks before and recalled the Philippine Sports Commission's 2022 budget due to its hands-off approach in the PATAFA-Obiena matter. Obiena is currently the 6th-ranked pole vaulter in the world and the Asian record holder. Despite the controversy, he turned down citizenship offers to stay as a Filipino athlete.